So, welcome, Anthony. So, Anthony did our diploma course back in 2004 in the summer and is now established in the industry. So, maybe we can just learn a bit about Anthony and what he's been up to and how Brewlab's helped the journey. So, maybe, Anthony, how are you and what are you up to these days?
Oh, I'm doing really good. As Richard says, I did the course in July 2024, did the 9-week diploma. And yeah, really enjoyed the course, obviously. And yeah, now I've managed to get myself a job at Siren Brewing over around the Reading area. And yeah, the course was really helpful in me securing that position.
So, tell us a little bit about your background. Were you based over in the States before doing the course?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I'm from the UK originally, and I lived in the UK mostly in the craft beer trade in the until about 2013 or so. And then between 2013 2014, I moved over to the US where, I was living in living in the state of Utah, which is not the greatest place for craft beer, but then ended up moving to California and yeah, working in the craft beer industry as a bartender for a few years over there. And then in 2023, I moved back to the UK and decided that I really wanted to kind of change career and move into the brewing side of the industry because I've been a home brewer for many years. And yeah, so I did the course and yeah, I was able to find myself a good position in the industry.
So you kind of decided when you were kind of doing bar work that you wanted to move into brewing. We just understand a little bit about why you chose Brewlab.
Yeah, sure. So basically, there was a few reasons. One of them was the price because it's significantly cheaper than doing some of the other longer courses out there, and the amount of time as well is also really important to me. You can get it. It's a really good crash course. It gets you, through all of the topics really nice and quickly. Oh, also because is basically equivalent to the IBD. Yeah, the IBD General
Yeah,
Certificate,
yeah,
but the course is way shorter and it has a lot more practical stuff because
yeah.
the IBD is really good, but it doesn't have any kind of practical. So I figured that a lot of breweries would actually find the Brewlab certificate a more attractive prospect because you've been brewing and you have been working
Yeah.
uh, for some breweries in the past.
So yeah, we'll fit a lot into those 9 weeks, a lot of practical work along with all the theory. So it stood you in good stead for it. So yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about I guess the skills that you got from the course and how they've prepared you to take your first steps in the industry.
Yeah.
So the practical work along with the theory, do you feel like that's kind of armed you with the knowledge and the skills to go forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like a combination of the practical and the theory stuff, because obviously one of the most important things in the practical side of working in brewery is working, especially when you're kind of going in at the more beginning levels, is dealing with chemicals and stuff like that. And it's very important to get both a grounding in why what why chemicals are dangerous and how to deal with them, but also like seeing how breweries dealt with their chemicals and seeing what kind of PPE you should be using and why, and all of these kind of things.
And the beers that you brewed at Brewlab, were they your style? Did you choose them to experiment, or was that being a home brewer before, maybe you kind of took your skills and you were able to develop them during those practical sessions, brewing the beers that you did?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I, being a home brewer already, I kind of brewed a combination of things that I hadn't really brewed before, and kind of classics that I kind of had brewed a few times already.
Mm.
Just because it's good to always good to experiment, but
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, those sessions are marked, so it was good to have something I was a little bit familiar with, and you know, I knew I was going to hit my numbers, kind of thing.
Definitely, definitely. Do you remember any of the brews that you made?
Yeah, I do. I remember I brewed a nice black IPA, and I brewed a interesting hibiscus and peach sour when I was there.
Okay.
Those worked really well for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken a little bit about the theory and the practical, but we're quite heavy with the quality control and quality assurance. Is that kind of what you expected, or did you get more from that than maybe what you'd expected?
Yeah, I thought that the quality control stuff was really helpful. You know, especially for working in a brewery, because you know it's obviously you'll be taught it when you go into the brewery, but it's very helpful to already have that knowledge and just kind of be shown this is how we do it rather than learning that stuff from scratch.
You've already got your first job in the industry, and just gaining your experience at the moment. How have you found it so far?
Yeah, I'll be completely honest with you. It's extremely hard work, but it's very, very rewarding. I really enjoy it. You know, I spend my day kind of like uh, cleaning kegs, but you know, I'm definitely on a trajectory to start working in the cellar and then hopefully get onto the brew kit.
So you feel like the Brewlab diploma helped you get that first step?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, there were lots of questions during my interview, although it was a packaging position, which I wasn't necessarily going to use that information about, like about fermentation, and actually there was very little questions about packaging on my interview. There was lots about brewing and fermentation and all of the kind of theory that you learned on the course, and that was really helpful.
Okay, so it's going to be a real advantage to you
Mm.
moving forward. Brilliant.
I, seems to be. I was actually surprised about how much they asked about other parts of the brewing process
Okay.
than packaging. Yeah.
Okay. So you've got a real rounded education there that's really helped you secure that position. That's good to
Yeah.
hear. So maybe looking a little bit further ahead, you're in that packaging position at the moment. Do you hope to kind of move into a brewing position soon, or in the near future?
So you know, the brewery that I work at, they like to employ from within. So I'm hoping to, um, you know, move into a cellaring position within the next 6 months to a year. You know, so that's kind of, you know, making sure that fermentation is going correctly, and then doing things like dry hopping, filtering, you know, all of the kind of like tasks that are in between brewing and packaging, essentially. Eventually, you know, in a couple of years' time, probably be into either at this brewery or at another smaller brewery, get onto the brew kit and
Mhm.
actually brew.
So no plans to move back to the States.
Maybe one day, not right now.
So I suppose lastly, would you recommend Brewlab?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed the course. You know, Phil and Alison are really lovely, and you know, Richard's a great guy, and all of the people at Brewlab. If you do the course, you'll meet Dave. He's really fun as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah,
Brilliant.
no, I definitely highly recommend the course. Like it was really very very helpful, really rewarding, really interesting. Like even if you're a home brewer already, or even if you aren't, then the course is so rewarding. It really helpful.
Brilliant. Thanks, Anthony, for your time. And we'll yeah, we'll look forward to hearing from you maybe in the very near future, and look forward to your next steps.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you very
Cool.
much.